I joined Tactic Studios in 2010, and up until that point, it was just Jesse's personal side hustle. And then when I saw what he was up to, I had to join him. So since then, it's been a two-man squad, and we've only grown since then.
I joined Tactic Studios in January of 2021.
I started working at Tactic Studios almost a year ago in March of 2021.
I joined Tactic Studios like 1 year ago, to the day, I think. No, it was like 3 days ago. So yeah. Why did I choose to work for Tactic Studios? Well, it was mainly three things. The first one was a project. The second one was that Jesse, the CEO, came very well recommended. And the third thing is like Tactic is still like a very small studio. That gives you like a lots of advantage, I would say. And I was really attracted by those advantages. One of them is that you can contribute everywhere. You're not like just in your department doing your work. You can go and concept, you can do environment art. If you have an idea, you can share it. They're gonna learn, they're gonna like, listen to you for sure. It's not safe for them to go with the safe ideas. They need to make a name for them, so they will always try to be original. And this is like for an artist very appealing, I would say.
Well, I always wanted to work at an indie game studio with a small team. And Jesse is a really close friend of mine. And so when, back in the day when he mentioned he was working on something, I was immediately intrigued. And it didn't take long for me to before I asked to join him. And we started working on the next project. And over the years, we've forged an amazingly close relationship. And it is sort of what underpins what we do at Tactic Studios.
There's lots of benefits to working at a smaller studio. I think my favorite part is the communication, though. At Tactic, a smaller studio, you can directly talk to people from other departments, all the way up to our CEO, Jesse, if you need a question answered. Everyone's incredibly helpful and professional. There's no, at a larger studio, you might end up playing a game of broken telephone through multiple levels of management to talk to a different department. And by the time the question gets back to you, it's an answer to a question that you didn't ask. So like, it's good at a smaller studio to be able to just ask those questions directly to other people and get answers back immediately. As far as an art standpoint, if you're working as one of 3 animators opposed to maybe like 50 animators, you will end up having more animations overall that are your own in the final product, opposed to the work that would have been spread out across 50 people. And the final product, you just be a drop in the bucket, really. It really helps with leaving a large portion of what was done be yours.
The biggest benefit is that everybody has a major impact. It takes an army to build some of these projects. And so it really feels like, you have to get to know everyone on your team. And when you have a small studio, you get to communicate with everybody, you get to talk with everybody, you get to see everyone's progress, and everyone can give, everyone else feedback. So it's a really nice, tight-knit group where we can all sort of see what everyone is doing and move this project along together. Very much like heading out onto the battlefield.
There are a lot of benefits to working at a smaller studio, a lot of which most people have probably said, but for me personally, what I find amazing is that I personally, just me, can help every single person that works at Tactic Studios, at this company. I can help every single person, from a concept artist to an animator to the team leads to the CEO. I can help all of them, and I can make their lives easier. And I have done that working at Tactic Studios, and it feels really, really good that I can have such an impact on the project and on so many people's work life. I don't know. I just think it's really, really cool that I can help facilitate communication, and I can help everyone on the team do what they do best.
So the advantage of working from home, so you don't have to commute. Obvious, if you have kids, it's pretty cool because they are mostly working from home too, so you have somebody to watch them. And here, the tea is amazing. So this is one of the most important advantage for sure.
I love being able to cook fresh food for lunch, well, breakfast and dinner as well, really. Uh, Cuddle my puppy, Susie. Cuddle my puppy here, and take walks around my neighborhood, rather than around like an industrial park, which studios are often in. And there's no commuting, which is great for mornings. It's easier to sleep in for a little bit, get a little bit extra, a few extra minutes, and obviously you don't have to worry about weather and stuff like that. So definitely some benefits to being able to work from home.
The pros from working from home, definitely a big positive, is just being able to step off the computer to do a light workout at any time. At an office, that would be very embarrassing to do. You can't just get up on your computer and start running on the spot or doing something ridiculous like that. But at home, I feel like I can do that at any time without embarrassment. And so if I find myself stuck on something, my brain is clogged on something, I can just jump off, do a quick workout, and while I'm working out, I can still watch everything I need to if I'm watching a video or something that's giving me some knowledge or something. So it's a really nice way to blend in being able to de-stress while continuing to work, which is a really nice being a feature. And it's really amazing how many solutions can come after a short workout.
As someone who's worked from home for almost 3 years now, long before I joined Tactic Studios, before the pandemic, I am a very introverted person and I very much enjoy time by myself, time alone, and being in my own space. It makes me very comfortable, very happy, and I also get a lot more sleep. I'm sure a lot of people have mentioned these as well. I get to cook my own food. I really, really like cooking, and I like cooking fresh food, and I have my kitchen literally right beside my office, so it's really, really great that I get to do that. Plus, I get to wear fluorescent yellow sweatpants to work, and nobody can judge me.
I would say the main one would be to meet the team. It's a little bit more difficult to build a good trust relationship, but we have a lot of meetings and one-on-one call in order to kind of like balance it. One issue that I had while working from home, it was in summer, so my door was open up there, and in the middle of a meeting, a bird flew in my office. And it was my cat that took a bird and released it in my basement, and it was in my office. So in the middle of the meeting, I had to go. He came out like, he's safe, he's good. So that's good news. But that was like an issue for sure.
I think never having met my coworkers is the weirdest part, and just having met them on Zoom and stuff. So I think when you don't have an office for everyone to be walking around, you miss out on those like water cooler, coffee machine talks that end up leading to some great ideas that get implemented. It's harder to do that on Zoom, to just like message someone, hey, I have an idea. It's kind of something that would just come up in some random conversation that you wouldn't have remotely.
I know a lot of people struggle when working from home. One of my biggest issues that I've had to kind of learn how to deal with is the fact that my workspace and my personal relaxing space are in the same place. It's right here. So I am usually at my computer 24/7, no matter what I'm doing, working or relaxing. So the ability to separate those two things is really, really important. And if you don't separate them properly, it can cause a lot of mental stress. So that's something that you definitely have to account for when working from home and deal with.
What are some of the cons from working from home? Well, it would be nice to see people. Mostly I do really enjoy working from home, but I do miss the connection that comes from working closely with other people. So that would be nice.
Work-life balance is very important for me, so I was on it before starting working from home. But when I had to do the switch, it was very difficult for me to adapt the technique that I had, right? So it probably took me like 3 months in order to readjust. But yeah, now it's all good.
I think it's improved it greatly. it opens up time in the evenings and morning that I wouldn't normally have because of commuting. With bad traffic or bad weather, that can lead to like hours of commuting every day, which I now have to myself, which is great. Obviously, the social aspect of my life has kind of suffered, but that's everyone's kind of suffered in that way with the pandemic. So as we exit the pandemic, I expect that aspect to improve in my life.
I'd say overall, working remotely has affected my work-life balance in a positive way. I've worked jobs that have taken over my life completely, that had hours of commute, that had stressful workplace environments, that had people contacting me outside of work 24/7, and it was exhausting. I lost all of everything that I enjoyed. Being able to sleep in, being able to eat properly, and make sure that I'm taking care of myself during the day, I think overall that is a really, really positive thing for me.
Thanks for watching. Bye.